Today we're gonna turn this piece of paper into my Datsun 620 frame.
Looks like 45? Yep. To get that 30 degrees or 150 degrees point, because this is, I think I got it figured it out. Here, probably a fish blade on.
As a frame. All right guys, so today is a massive day for the Datsun. This is one of, I'd say, the most important pieces that we are going to work on building the frame for the Viper Corvette driveline Datsun 620. We have 4 tubes of 10-foot 2x4, which is a 1/8 wall, and a bunch of equipment here. I've already designed the frame on CAD. I'll show you that in a little bit and how I kind of got my measurements, but this is a first time for me. I'm gonna try and talk like I know exactly what I'm doing, but I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just taking all the information I've learned and I'm trying to make it happen today. We don't have a frame, table, or any of that, but I've checked our floor is level, so we should be good as long as the measurements and angles and everything is good. We're gonna have a base frame by the end of today. Okay, so one of the first things I did before trying to tackle this, and actually it was before I even pulled the Datsun apart, was figuring out my wheelbase for the truck. Now, what I'm gonna do is this is just the bare base bottom layer of the frame. It is gonna be a roll cage and an upper support for it. So what I basically have here is a square for the cab, and then I have the angles up for the front and the rear. Now today we are going to build all this, and the hardest pieces to get right is going to be these connection pieces, because they got a weird butt connection on both ends. I'm just right now still trying to figure out whether I do this piece and that piece as one solid piece and cut just the angle out of there and bend it so that the top stays solid. But that's where I'm at, so we're gonna get right into it. This is my cheat sheet for today to get this done. So before we get into cutting and measuring, which I'm obviously delaying right now because I'm still trying to think about how to do it, is coming back to those brackets for the C7 Corvette where they have the cutouts perfectly for the 2x4 tubing. I'm gonna start with the main square, which matches the bottom of the cab, and it's a little different than how a normal truck setup would be. It's just the way that I wanna do it. Once I have that built, I'm gonna put that on the ground here, make sure nothing's sitting on a little pebble or whatever, make sure it's all zero degrees, it's level, and then we're gonna build those back pieces, which will come into here with these slots in it for wheelbase. As long as I have enough straight pieces that are out, I'll be able to slide this forward and back to get it right for once I decide to permanently weld it in, which may be later. I may just have it sit in there for now until we have maybe the truck more back together so we can make sure that the hubs are zeroed with the fenders on the front and rear. Let's get cut. The square piece is 52 inches by 58. So that is in between these pieces here. We're going with 52 and then 58. Yes, they're 4 inches thick, so the floor is gonna sit up just a little bit higher than it would from factory, but that's okay because I'm short anyways, so another inch higher on the floor would probably be a good thing. Build this square for that and then move on. I just keep saying. The last thing I need is to not cut these right, and then now I need another piece. And I also have to go over, what is that, 1/16 of an inch, because I gotta make up for the saw blade size. Jesus, that takes a lot to fucking cut. It's definitely overkill, but that's all right. So I was talking to a dude that builds custom cars, fucking amazing at it, Kyle Kuhnhausen, shout out to you, buddy. He said this might be a little overkill when I have an upper support to it as well, but we're running with it. That's sorry. So now I need to cut a 45 degree on all of these. So now we're gonna measure for 45s, although this does do a 45 degree cut. Okay, so I didn't think we were gonna burn through saw blades that quick, so we're waiting for a few blades to come in, but this is just a good example for you to see what these plates do. They're a little bit of a snug fit, which is great. Once those are smacked in, then we have a connection. And we'll do the same to the front. We just need to connect the rear to the front, and we have a physical frame for this fucking truck. That's very exciting. Just gotta make sure I get all my measurements right, because I've already been off, so. Alignment shop can fix that, right, Timmy? You only see one side of the truck at a time. Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. I also gotta find out if my crank's bent, because last time, anyone who watched the video of pulling it apart, I thought maybe it was the block, but I think it's pretty common actually on these Vipers to have your crank bend when you blow a rod bearing. We're gonna need head bolts, we're gonna get a big cam for it, maybe some valve springs, we'll see what's out there for it. And just make sure that this thing has a big lope to it. I'm not gonna do forged internals or anything because I'm not gonna boost it. I'll probably regret that. And another thing actually we've been working on, and I have mentioned a few times, is the Viper is actually gonna be ITBs. Designed these plates for the Viper. So these are base plates that go onto the cylinder head that I've already done my measurements for a little throttle body here, and then we're gonna have our intakes off of that, which are kind of like these pieces. I redesigned it a few times. So this is the first piece to our Viper ITB setup. And we got our little vacuum port so that we can get a proper vacuum between the throttle body and the cylinder head for idle air or a map sensor or both. So yeah, let's wait for some saw blades. All right, we got our saw blades. It's time to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 45 degree cuts, and then we can tack weld the square together. It looks like 45? Yep. So on the frame that you saw in the CAD file, there's these joints where they join into the square, and this is the rear section here, this is the front section here. So here's a blown up version of it. It's kind of like this 90-degree cut out of the pipe on a specific angle, so that way I have the most welding surface area around it. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna try and Sharpie out and mark out this section here. So this piece right in between is acting as the 2x4 piece that it's butting up against. So it's kind of like if I were to hold this here and then put it like that, you can see how this cut here has to come out there on the perfect spot, and it has to be at the right spot so this sits at the right angle, so that when I do another butt connection there, the subframe sits at the exact height I need it at. So to get that 30 degrees or 150 degrees, I'll come to the point here, which will be right at the end. And I'm gonna make sure that I line this 6 mark up with the point, because this is 2 inches long. I'll do my first Sharpie line, 2 inches. So that right there is this first 30 degree at 2 inches. Now from there to the next one is just either 90 degrees from the 2 or it's 60 degrees up from here. We're gonna try just the 90 from there, and which 90 from there should theoretically be at the point. So I'm gonna grab a 90 so we know it's gonna be straight. So what we're gonna do off of that 2 inches out is we're gonna go to 90 degrees. So I'm gonna line this up, which as you can see, it is coming right to the end of the piece. So that's how I know we're in the right spot. According to my calculations, should be this cutout right here,
which puts this on the perfect angle against a square tube here to meet up at the right length with where that top piece goes, which is going to be 90 degrees with the bottom for the subframe brackets. So it should sit level and it should sit at the exact right height we need. And we'll confirm because that bottom angle there should be 60. And if it is, then we did the job right. So we are perfectly on the line at 60 degrees lined up with the pipe. And once we have those out, there's one more cut at the end where they'll mate together. So this is 66.6 degrees and that's 66.6 degrees, which makes it so that when it's on an angle like this, and then your other one wants to go straight, if you just cut this one piece at the right angle to butt to that one that's straight, this is going to end up longer and there's going to be overhang. So what you need to do is take the whole angle, let's say it's 120 degrees, and you'll cut this one 60 degrees back, and you'll cut this one 60 degrees back so that the distance will be the exact same. I think I got it figured it out. It's a lot, but I'm kind of a numbers guy, so it does make sense to me, and I hope it makes sense to you guys. I hope I did an okay job of explaining it to you guys, and if you think there's something I'm doing wrong or something I could change, let me know, although the frame will already be built by then, but I'll know for next time. And they're all cut, just like that. So now we have everything. This is the full base frame. I made 2 jigs for where the rear subframe or the back pieces and front pieces are gonna sit, and some extra spacers just to kind of hold everything spaced out. So we're gonna start laying this out and put the main square together. We're just gonna tack weld everything today so we can get a visual on it. But yeah, let's get this thing built. Oh yeah, well that's right where it's going, so. Yeah, so this piece is the main piece for the cab itself that's gonna kind of tuck in here. Obviously this is gonna need to get modified once we do the front pieces because the driveline's not gonna fit past here. But I just wanna get the base together so the subframes can be connected to the body section of it. And once we have that together, we'll put the subframes on, and we'll have to eventually put the driveline together to see where this needs to get cut for the bell housing and the driveline, and even maybe holes or something for the exhaust. That's all later stuff. This is just bare base section of the frame. Oh, look at that. So we're 0, 90, 90. It's a square. Now, the fun part. Cutouts that I explained to you guys earlier so it can sit just like that. And then we got lots of grip all the way here, grip there, and then there'll be a fish plate down here, probably a fish plate on the side and another down, although most of your load in a chassis is up and down, but I'm just gonna try and go overkill on it. So yeah, this will be 29, 30 degrees we'll go for, and we'll tack weld it there once it's in the right spot. Also have to make sure it's not crooked. 10 and a quarter. Now, just gonna do that one more time. Then we're on to the next piece. So this piece right now we have at 0 degrees, and this jig is holding it at the right height for the subframe. So the subframe bottom will be level with the bottom there, because on a C7 Corvette, any photos I've seen, the bottom of the subframe is level with the lowest point of the car. So that's what we're trying to set up here, is that the subframe is level. Now, that should theoretically be 11.5 inches from here to the bottom. And that is absolutely perfect. Okay, so the crucial thing with this is making sure these gaps are good, which I actually have helping hold it together. Smaller one. That will hold us in the right spot. Make sure we're level here. 11.5. Right on the money. Fuck. Theoretically speaking, I should be able to lose that and it will all stay in place if these tack welds are strong enough. As a frame. Exact same thing we did in the rear, but on a little bit smaller of a scale, harder angle, and a little bit shorter. Because where this angle comes up here is basically the space I have from here to there. So I have a pretty hard angle to make before I get it straight to where the subframe brackets fit. Whereas the back, I had lots of room for where the wheelbase goes. So I made it more gradual, but the front is sharp. Yeah, I didn't pay for Fusion 360, so after I designed it and my computer shut off, I wasn't able to save it, so it was basically like design it, don't turn your computer off. So I made this cheat sheet before I turned it off, so I can't really reference to anything, it's just everything on here is all I have. Oh yeah, there's enough info there.
Glad that burn out any important information.
Yeah, I know. I did take a photo of it, so we're okay. I never had any of these magnets until I decided to do this, and it's like, holy fuck, I could have used these such a long time ago. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my Datsun 620 King Cab Viper Corvette base frame. Let's take a look at this. Take a look. I should have built it the other way. So now, based off the video if you've seen before talking about the brackets and how this simplifies it, this is the exact reason right here. Look at that. That piece, now the subframe is going to bolt to there, the upper control arms already have the holes, and bam. So we're going to cut to all of this together with the subframes on it in 3, 2, 1. So first, we're going to look at the back end of this frame. We have the rear subframe on with these brackets that I talked to you guys a while ago about, and this is a visual for how it's going to sit on. We have the control arms in a factory C7 location with the subframe bolted into the bracket, which is then mounted to our frame rail, which when you look at this, it's almost overwhelming to me because it's so cool, and it really simplifies how this is all gonna go together. And this is just the perfect visual for how it all works. Like, we got everything spinning, and then we come over to the front. This is the front of it, which is similar to the rear, obviously, with everything on, and our hubs, which all turn. So technically speaking, right now, I could put coilovers on this, put wheels on it, and this thing would almost be a roller. So obviously, after looking at all of that, it's like, okay, what's the next step? The next step for this is gonna be putting the transmission onto the rear subframe, getting our torque tube, and figuring out where that's gonna sit here. We're gonna end up cutting all of this out so it has space to go through. And once we have that bolted to the Viper engine, we will actually be able to make our engine mounts for that. And this will be a complete rolling drive line. Obviously, there's one other thing I still need to figure out, and that's the wheelbase of this, where the hubs all sit. Because right now, all of this slides around, but that is for the next time. So don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys on the next one.